All right, everyone, welcome back. Today is another day for Tavern Talks with your hosts, AzNCloudBoi and theSavior. We have a special guest today, Hocari. Topic we're going to talk about today is PK, which is player killing, if y'all didn't know. All right, I guess everyone say hi.
What's up? What's up? Thanks for having me.
Awesome. It was
Thanks
we
for
did
joining.
we didn't have a guest last week, so this is actually pretty fun. And not to mention we have one of the top PKers in the game. So having a guest
Yeah.
to talk about this
And we have
topic is
Hocari
very
this
good.
week too, so it's great.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I assume you were calling me the top PK, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
All right, let's do some introduction. So
Right.
Hocari, tell us a
What?
bit about yourself.
Let's see. I've been playing Nexus for 18 years. I consider myself a top tier poet.
How many of those years have you been banned from Carnages?
That's a good question, and one that we will discuss later.
Yeah, you're just throwing tough topics.
Yeah, but I also play, I guess, all the classes pretty competitively in PK. So, yeah. It's not just a poet perspective.
I totally agree. I think PK topic this is the best person to bring to the table. I know Bond's obviously good with a lot of characters too, but I think Hocari, I think he's about to unreg or something, so we had to grab him right away.
Yeah, Bond's okay.
Yeah, I taught Bond everything he knows. So
Dang.
he's all right.
All right, so that's introduction. So we're gonna follow the format. We'll try to stay on topic. I think that's the main thing. But I think Hocari, you want to talk about the history of Nexus DK, PK, and Sire Pit, right?
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, like I'm talking about like year 30, it was all about Veil, it was all about World PK,
Right.
not so much Sire Pit, and it was pretty much like a bunch of Ilsens, I remember, just beating up a bunch of 98s. A lot of people were 98 because they sold their stats and they got stuck there. And then I would say like the first like actual like serious PK took off around year 35 when Crip and then like the whole Vietnam gang invaded Sire Pit.
Oh yeah.
And that was pretty some good times. Then Balancers came out, which just changed the game completely. It was no longer about just tanking everyone. Like tanking actually became a terminology. Suwon, like, well, I mean, there was the word Suwon before, but I mean, then the whole concept of clean became a lot more important when Balancers came out, so the entire dynamic changed. Yeah, so that's a very, very brief rundown.
Oh yeah, and I think a lot of us gained all our PK skills from these Sire battles and Veil battles, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, you can't. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really like 2-on-2 stuff going on back then. Like there were no balancers, right? Like I said, so it was pretty much all your PK skills were developed through like the huge Sire battles.
And tell them a little bit how the battles happened, because like it wasn't just like, hey, you came in, you're like, oh, I want to fight you. It was
No,
it was
man.
almost like gang war, right?
It was pretty much a turf war. I mean, people were in Sire all the time back then. Like people would like if one side was getting dominated, they would just call all their friends up.
Right.
And be like, hey, I'm getting wrecked. Come to Sire so and so. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty much like a gang war. People got pretty heated up back then.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
yeah.
would be like hours of killing the same people over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like the whole kill on site thing. It was actually pretty common back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what gang were you in? If I can ask you.
I started off with Team Vietnam, and then the second generation when Suwon came around, I hunted with them, and then I became friends with them. So I sided with them against Outcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a scumbag, because Outcast wins.
I never heard Outcast who? Yeah, but yeah.
Outcast wins.
And then yeah, nowadays Sire's pretty empty, but let's see.
There have been like 2 Sire battles this year, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah.
It used to be like a nightly thing. You'd log on and hang out in Sire if you weren't hunting, or you'd finish your hunt and go to Sire, and that would sort of be like your day.
There's been a few revival attempts, which have been pretty cool. I hope they happen more often. It'd be good to see Sire Pit pretty active again.
Do you think, on topic Sire Pit, do you think it can ever revive at this point with the stat gap and all that stuff? Do you think it's revivable?
I know. Oh yeah, go ahead, Saber.
I was just gonna say, I think one of the biggest things nowadays that makes Sire Pit is, I've noticed, like back in the day, nowadays Sire Pit, you get people mad and they just start talking shit about, oh, you bought, if you bought this character, stuff like that. Like back in the day, it was actually about PK skill. Now it's just sort of about reputation. Like not even reputation in the realm of PK, but like what you've done on Nexus after 15 years, or 20 years, whatever. So I feel like it's a lot harder to have like feuds come from a different place nowadays. They don't come from skill.
I don't know how much I agree with that one. I mean, people talked a lot of shit back in the day too.
I'm gonna disagree with that too.
Like back in the day, people were like 18. They were kids. I mean, nowadays, most of the people who still play are like old.
Yeah.
Entering like 1 foot in this senior citizen home door. But back in the day, people were talking a lot of shit too. I think it's more so that the population is a lot more Care Bear now.
Yeah.
I will agree on that one. I mean, there's some obvious ones like the population dropped, but even the active players, they would rather like hang out in Westgate, Kugne, or in Mythic Nexus. So, the attitudes changed a lot towards PK. It's just, I think it's because maybe people got older that they don't
more
really
mature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one way to put it. What are you trying to say that people who PK still now are
probably in the mid 20s,
like,
late 30s.
Point taken.
I think you touched on it too when you talked about stat gap. Because there are people that have consistently hunted for like, the past 5 years since Sire Pit sort of died, and now getting back into it, it's like no fun to have one giant person just tanking everybody,
Right.
You maybe.
I try not to tank. I really do.
No, I was saying like if you hellfired anyone, they'd probably
Unless
die.
it's like somebody on my KOS list.
Right.
But I don't even really have that big of a KOS list anymore. It's only one person, and they're a diviner, so I can't even do it anymore.
Whoa. Oh, that's another topic, I guess. Well, let's go in a little deeper into that. So, what do you think are the issues surrounding PK? I know you touched up a little bit before we streamed about how people's feelings got hurt, and we also mentioned a little bit about grieving, and then I guess we can lightly touch on cheat and hacks.
All right.
If you guys want to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, let's start off by saying like I PK a lot. I talk a lot of shit. I mean, everyone knows this. But like, here's the thing: what I say isn't really people should not take it personally. Like, I will talk a lot of shit in organized PK, but I won't like make it. I won't say shit like, "Oh, you're bad," and just leave it at that. I will tell you like why you're bad, what you should be doing, and because like I said before, like I can't tell. If I tell everyone who I think is bad, if I just call them out for that, then I would be talking nonstop because most of the people are pretty bad at PK.
Right.
But that's okay. The only time I will call you out for being bad is if it's actually harming the team. Like, that might sound crazy, but sometimes players are better off dead on the team. Like, This is going to be an extremely hard concept to grasp if you're not a poet, but poets, they have a very limited resource in the fact that they can only cast 3 spells per second. And if I have to spend my spell frames like healing some guy who just fight as anything and is not going to get a kill with them, then those spell frames are like those healing spell frames are spells that could be used to ASV myself or actually ASV another top player. But I might not have that chance because I'm busy healing some random dude who just can't stop like fighting.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that thing too. Also, like a lot of people, they don't realize their limitations. Like I said, I don't care if you're bad at PK. Like if you're bad because you have a 200 ping, right? Hieroglyphs, I'm looking at you. and you can't land anything, I'm fine with that. Well, my issue is like if people who have bad ping, but they still want to get all the kills, they're in it just for like just to land kills, then that's a pretty selfish way of playing. Like you should be playing for the team. If you have a high ping, then you should be like, hey, how can I still contribute to the team? We're probably gonna touch upon this later, like how non-tops can still help the team, but there's more to winning.
Especially with the 99 unreg scene is actually like gaining a ton of popularity.
Oh, yeah. I think Yuck brought it. I mean, do you guys still remember Yuck bring that in?
Yeah. Yep.
He was a small poet making huge contributions. I mean, probably won games. Little stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious from a poet perspective, but even like small warriors, small rogues, they can help out still.
Yeah, off-eye. I mean, that's a big one.
Like everybody can't be a hero. That's my point.
Yep.
And sometimes you just have to play a support role.
So I feel like a lot of people misunderstand you. I mean, I'll just tell you straight up. A lot of people whisper me and say, "Oh, why do you like Hocari?" I'm like, well, people just don't understand him, and I totally understand your point of view because like when I PK, I get very intense too, and I want to win. So. And then
I'm not misunderstanding. I honestly think most people in the game are retarded, but I just keep that to myself. Like the only time I'm gonna talk to you is just purely for PK perspective. Like I want you to win. Like people accuse me of throwing and stuff, and yeah, I will admit on stream that sometimes I do leave the matches. But like, here's the thing, okay? I won't leave if I feel like we have a good chance of winning. Like if it's me and some like really bad PK or warrior, I will stick around if it's me and some garbage warrior stuck against like you and Bunny Fufu, even though you guys outmatch us. Yeah. Because even then, I can still keep my fighter alive and bring it to circle and bring it to time, and we can tie it at the very least.
Yeah.
Like if it's outside my circumstances, like if we're matched up against like a mage and a top poet, then there's nothing I can do about it if they doze me and Matora my fighter, and I know that my fighter's too slow to hit me out. Then in that case, I'll just leave because I already know how it's going to end. And I know that my fighter is going to I'm going to get dozed, my fighter dies, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about that situation. So that's when I leave.
I have that. We have something that happened with Peaches, remember? He kept leaving you, and you were dozed nonstop, and you kept telling that you had a doze, but he refused to, and guess what? You died maybe 3 seconds later after that.
Right. So yeah, I'll stick around if there's like a slim chance that we might win. But I mean, there's some dynamics that people don't realize that are there that sometimes there's no hope at all. Like,
well, our poet just got tanked, and I'm fucking pissed. I hate tankers.
Nice.
Oh, if anyone doesn't know, Savior's in Crusades.
I'm in the Crusades right now.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, if you feel hurt by what I say to you, I'm sorry. Don't take it personally, but I'm trying to win despite what some people think. Yeah, I just want to get that on the record.
Well, I'm kind of like I know you apologize to everyone, and that's really awesome. But I feel like there's a point where you shouldn't have to apologize because I feel like just like in our real society, not Nexus, I think a lot of us kids or adults now were like they call us millennials, and then they also talk about helicopter, how we helicopter kids, right? Like how we grew up and all we do is just report people when something bad happens. We never learn to work things out. And I feel like a lot of people that get mad at you tend to go straight to dry water and report you right away.
I mean,
I feel like it's so dumb. I'm like, maybe I'm just impartial about that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I feel like those people who do that, they don't even want to work things out because they're doing it purely just for
just getting in trouble or something.
Yeah, just to grief me.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, as some of you may know, I've been banned for 3 months recently. I mean, I'm not gonna say that's undeserved, but like I said, my only main issue is that some people they get upset by what I say to them, and they take it on a personal level. Which I mean, that's my only complaint. Don't take it personal. It's purely PK. Like if I start making fun of your mom, then that's a whole different story. But like that's reaching like some Xbox level stuff. But I mean, all I'm gonna tell you is like, hey, I'm not gonna heal you, or I'm gonna let you die. That's usually what my talk. That's what usually starts off as. And when people try to make it personal with me, then yeah, I will talk back. I'll shit talk you back.
Right.
I'll play like that. But yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, we covered. That's a big chunk right there too. So,
yeah.
is there anything to talk about cheats and hacks? I mean, I don't know. Is that something you want to talk
yeah,
about?
actually, yeah. So the history of cheating. I mean, back in the day, there was like later Jesus, right? Those of you who don't know what that is, it lets people see. Well, the big one was that you can see invisible rogues.
Oh,
And I think that's yeah. Apparently there were also like reactors as well. Like apparently like you can get instant dose or instant ASV on the spell. But I mean, I think those days are gone. I'm not 100% sure because like first of all, I just also want to get this on the record. I don't use any cheats. I don't use any macros. That's one of the reasons why I started playing with a keyboard display on my stream so that people can actually.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it too. I mean, a lot of people don't know, but like Hocari is a crazy APM person. He's a legit Korean player, and I don't think they know you're like one of the top like 100 StarCraft players
I
in
used
the
to
past. Used to be, but he was at one point top 100 at least.
be. So yeah, I get a lot of people saying like nice macros and stuff, right? I'm pretty sure like half of them are just saying it just to
just to spread some truth on the situation. Yeah.
or just to fuck around with me. But some people actually do believe it. So not to name drop, but like yeah. So the biggest things nowadays are macros. Some poets do it. It's kind of obvious which ones do. I don't want to name drop again because this is not. I mean, that's not the point of this. It's just to let people. Just so that people are aware of what's going on. Macros, for those of you who don't know, you can basically have multiple outputs for just one input. Like if you hit one button, it hits like 10 different commands or 10 different buttons,
Right.
which is really like especially as a poet when it's all about like how fast you can cast spells and how fast you can do things. It's a huge advantage. Not just because you're faster, but also like you don't get tired out and you can just last longer. Which like in 5 rounds, like if it ever goes to 5 rounds PK, then it's a huge advantage.
Right.
Yeah, so let's see. Other hacks.
Are macros even allowed? Like I know and I think you can use macros, but you have to be there, right?
Here I don't know about Nexus, but most games like here's their rule. Like Blizzard and like League of Legends, the general rule is that macros are allowed if it's one output for one input, which basically means you can remap your keys, but as long as each button you hit only sends one command, like normal regular command, then that's allowed.
Oh, okay. So not like you can't have like press 4 buttons on that one keystroke.
Yeah. And I don't think that's ever gonna get fixed though, because it's really hard to stop macros. Like most hardware keyboards, the gaming ones come built in those macros.
Yeah.
The only way to stop that is to have like something like a warden for Blizzard, with which they can like scan what programs you're using or what hardware you have. Yeah. Other than that, there's no way to really stop macros. That being said, I hope people don't go out of their way after hearing this to download macros.
It's gonna be a new wave of PKers.
I mean, it really sucks playing against the poets in macro. Like you lose no matter what. Even if you beat them by the end of the riches, your hands are tired while they're just refreshed, and they're like watching a Netflix movie while PKing. So you lose no matter what if you play against someone who macros. So I hope people don't do that. Yeah. As for other ones, there are some legal like tweaks people can do with their computer settings to improve their PK.
Ooh.
I'll brush, I guess, upon a few of them. VPNs, such as like What the Fast, can basically basically changes your hops, I guess, to the game server. Sometimes you can get a faster connection to the game server that way.
Oh yeah, a lot of people use that for like Ragnarok and stuff, I think.
Yeah. I don't know how optimal like the whole connecting to the crew servers are, but you can do that. There's also like you can change your I know KBK is a popular topic, which is a third-party software, which is illegal, but there's legal ways to change your keyboard settings through registry, or if you play on a MacBook through terminal. I can show you how to do on a MacBook. I used to play on a MacBook, so there's stuff like that. There's also the if you go to Task Manager, you can change your priority settings to real time.
So you don't like lag.
It reduces a lot of input lag. I feel like.
Actually, I don't even do that. I should probably do that.
I mean, I don't think you need it. I mean, you're probably like one of the fastest warriors.
Oh god, no! I think a lot of people think I play on really fast ping. I think I like ping 100. I think I'm just playing with lag. I'm just used to it.
I don't know. You have some like ridiculously fast responses.
We're Asian, that's why.
We can go with that. I mean, in the end, like everyone has pretty similar response. Like difference is like several milliseconds, I think.
Right.
Let's see.
I just got a really clean kill on Devastator. Just want to point that out there.
Nice. I think that covers pretty much all the current cheating and hacks.
All right. Well,
So
I hope
one
no
question
one
I
does
have
it.
about cheating is like, how are these macros helpful if like Nexus has a 3-spell cap? Do you just set them up so it only like casts 2 spells, or like do you just not do anything manually, or use the macros as like
consistency? Like
That's a good question.
consistency is like the biggest one. Like, and also like I mentioned, like they don't get tired out. So like even in long PK events, they're still going 3 spell strengths per second. Also, it's pretty hard to it's pretty hard to pull off 3 spells per second consistently. Like there's always gonna be some downtime. But if you macro, you're always going to be having 3 spells per second, pretty much.
Yeah. So is that like using like I know one of the things that I think one of the things that poets try to do is like 2 dispels and a scourge in the same graphic or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So is that like a macro that would be used?
Yeah. I mean, I think the most popular macro that I know someone uses when they walk, they combine their walk arrow buttons to ASV. So while they're walking, they can still ASV themselves with the same button.
Yeah.
What? That's so dumb. Really?
So it's like you're never caught with your pants down that way. Like, so yeah, that's another thing. Like,
Oh well, I gotta look out for that too.
right. But yeah, so
Alright, well-
I mean, you can move 3 spaces per second while casting 3 spells. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I never thought. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
All right.
So the next topic is current tier list. So what is? I guess you kind of brought this up, so I guess you can explain it.
All right. Well, let's go over some wonderful person put their tier list up recently. So let's start off with that one. Yeah, I'm gonna go off your tier list for now. Tier 1. All right, I'm guessing this is all active players. Yeah, I'm gonna also include alts right now. I'm gonna include alts because there's just not enough players right now that you kind of have to talk about alts.
I'd also be interested in hearing your greatest of all time for each pass.
Okay. Greatest of all time for poets. That's pretty easy for me. Elisa.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
Poet K5.
I have to play against her in her prime. Like, I feel like I can compete with a lot of poets. Like,
she never macroed.
Popular belief is that she did. I feel like she did, but like I don't have any solid proof. And you know, if she didn't, then I'm completely willing to admit that she was a far better poet than I ever was. I mean, I feel like I can hang with Gorgax, Yehu, those two. I mean, they're also always mentioned as top poets. I never felt like they outclassed me, but every time I play against Elisa, I felt like she was a better poet. She was just faster, more consistent, and yeah. Let's see, but going by the current tier list, Bunny definitely tier 1. Me, I would say I'm tier 1. I would say I have faster reactions than Bunny because I'm on the West Coast. It's primarily because I have a lower ping than Bunny. I would say Bond is tier 1.5. He's better than the tier 2 poets, but I think he's slightly worse than me and Bunny.
Comment on that. I feel like Bond leaves himself open just a little longer than you two, from my perspective. Like, I could actually land a Dis SC on him. For you two, a little harder.
I think Bond's a better aggressive poet.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. Yeah.
I feel like it's healing multiple people kind of goes down a bit. Because Bunny's probably the best at that. Bunny can like keep the entire team ASV'd and
Oh,
topped
I
up.
agree there. That's something I like still freaks me out to this day. Like, she can keep the whole team going and still Dis SC for me. I'm like, holy shit, what are you doing?
Yeah. Tier 2, I think Neru is not tier 2. She should be like a slightly lower. Not on the same level as the others. But other than that, tier 2 looks pretty fine.
I think she doesn't keep herself alive, right? I think that's why she'd be bumped down.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she's pretty easy to catch this as a mage, like with those.
Yeah.
I think she plays I'm pretty sure she plays from like Korea or something. And I think that, considering that, she's pretty good. I think if she moved to the US and played from the US, she could easily be a tier 2 at least, maybe higher.
You better fucking move here for her MTK PK career. Goddamn.
Yeah. So yeah, if any US citizens out there want to, I'm just kidding. Don't harass her. But yeah, she's a good poet though, no doubt with her for her ping.
Now, see, one of my longtime dreams is to have an NTK gaming house.
Nice.
So where would be the best for ping-wise to live? Seattle?
Oregon, right? I think that's what's like.
Yeah, I think they moved the servers.
Alright, awesome. So if anybody wants to save up, chip in, NTK gaming house, on
Nice.
PK,
Esports.
Esports, Nexus Esports, Reform Outcasts.
Yeah.
So everyone in tier 2 is pretty close.
That I continue on your channel.
Deviants is probably the better than the rest, slightly. Pixie's good, unfortunately. He has like high ping. Roku's pretty decent. He doesn't PK enough though. I think if he PK more, he could get up there.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty good.
Where would Drywater be on that?
Probably tier 2.
I think Drywater's pretty good. He's like actually actively good right now in this thing.
Yeah, I mean he gets flipped on a lot because people team. I mean, I don't like the dude, but he's a pretty good PKer. He's like tier 2.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I should have put Turn Up tier 4, right? I just put him
Tier 5, 6.
Turn it. I don't know. Like, on one hand, she's very inconsistent.
Tier annoying.
I mean,
Tiered.
Yeah.
Oh, what about the rest? Mordecai, Klinsman? Like, I know there's a few poets I'm missing.
Mordecai's way too high. Mordecai, I don't think he's a very good poet at all.
I think tier 3 is just kind of like everyone else.
Just everyone else.
Yeah. That's what I meant. I think that's what I meant.
Let's see. Klinsman, yeah, Klinsman's pretty solid. Sweet Tier should be like 2.0. She's not active, I guess. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, Stressed, I think you missed out on Stressed. He's like...
Oh, I forgot about Stressed.
Stressed would be the actual Tier 3.
Yeah, I agree there.
Yeah. And then everyone else should be like tier 4 or lower. But Stress is tier 3. I think that's pretty much it for all the active poets.
Okay, so mages, I have no idea.
Deviants
I
is
kind
on
of
there,
just
right?
threw. Oh, Deviants, yeah.
Mages, your number one thing as a mage is your ping. I mean, okay, let me say this. Poets are the least ping dependent class. Like, if you have a high ping and you want to be a solid PKer, go play a poet, because most of poeting is pre-casting. Like, you're holding ASV before the dispels even happen.
Oh, okay.
And the only reactive thing you really have to do is like spamming SC when you see a dispel go through. But even that's pretty client-sided actually, so you don't even need a low ping for that. But yeah, mages are probably the most ping-dependent class, because their main number one job is doze. That's pretty much it. That's like the most important thing about them. Their side job is the ASV stuff, but like if you can get a clean dose like 90% of the time, you are a tier 1 mage.
Because
Like,
it just stops every other action, right? Like they can't
right,
even respond to that. It's just
right.
stuck. Yeah.
Like, it's pretty much a guaranteed kill. Yeah, so that's their most thing as a mage. After that, it's about how well you can hold ASV, I guess, when your doze is up or doze is down, and how well you can ASV the rest of your teammates as a backup poet. But yeah, let's see the list.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Zippo,
like someone told me to put Zippo lower.
no, I mean he's pretty inconsistent, but I think he's up there. I would also throw in Jarmio.
Oh yeah, I didn't put any alts, so that's why.
Well, here's the thing: like all these guys though that on the tier 1 list, they're pretty slow. I'm pretty sure like none of them are West Coast. Like back when like Matoro played, like he had like instant dozes. Like if you compare, like even when I play Mage, like I live in the West Coast, so I have like a pretty instant doze. You can tell there's a solid difference between when I'm dozing targets and when Zippo and Matayu are dozing targets. Um, but yeah, but I mean this list is pretty okay for the active current players. Zippo tier 1, Clown tier 1, Matayu tier 1, Jarmio's tier 1.
Hmm.
Let's see. Wait, Savior, where do you live, anyways?
I live in Florida right now.
Yeah, so East Coast. So yeah, pretty much like it's pretty hard for East Coast players to be tier 1 as a mage. It's just
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, the class is just purely ping dependent for those.
Who do you think is the greatest of all time mage?
Oh man, greatest of all time mage. I would probably say
KZ?
Matora, but I mean Matora also was buff enough where he could just stand still and just like pointing ASV his teammates. Like he didn't really have to move around. He didn't have to do too much. He could just hold ASV and then just sit and wait till his teammates get dispelled and ASV them, and then just wait till he sees a dispel on his target and doze.
Martin's listening in and is questioning the Matoro decision. What
Well,
about Disaster?
he does
What
have
about
his own
Disaster
active.
M? Disaster M was awesome.
Disaster M was also good. But I mean, like I said, he also played in a time when like people didn't really know what they were doing, and I mean, he also had the backup. He also had the best poet in the game, Arkit, at the time. Those two were pretty much unstoppable. Yeah, I'll say this. It's definitely a lot harder. I mean, if Shizu and Jan played back then, I think it would have been a whole different story. But like back then, no one could catch Disaster M clean as a fighter. You needed another mage, but like there was no other mage that were like pretty good at the time. So I think the other top mages at the time were like Kwangari or like Indo mages who were just super buff.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
let's see.
So
That
what
being
about the tier? I mean, wait, are you going by tiers?
going back to tier list. So Vervain, all the Indo mages they're pretty on the same level. I would say Hisha's slightly above the rest, and then Vervain is slightly above Devouster. Those timing they're all pretty similar because they all live like overseas. But Devouster has like the worst ASVing. Like he will never ASV his teammates. That's what I noticed.
Oh,
Yeah.
where would Subchest fall in this? I'm actually interested on that.
It's hard to rate Subchest because all I remember about Subchest, he got tanked by everyone.
Everyone hated him.
Yeah, everyone hated him, so everyone just gangbanged him. So that's all I remember. All I remember was that he just died over and over. But as for actual PK talents, he was mid tier. I mean, he knew the basics. He knew what to do as a mage to hold ASV's teammates, and his does weren't like super great, but they were decent. I think most of his kills were tanking people, not really clean catches.
Yeah, he was buff, so.
Tier 3, Tilt's getting good. Tilt's getting better. Number, I guess Number's been doing better too. I mean, Number used to be really bad, but now he holds ASV sometimes, so not so bad.
Okay. Have you missed anyone?
Probably, but it's hard to remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, sorry guys, mages. That's
Yeah,
all I
if
know.
if I'm missing anyone, just throw Asian Cloud the Whisper, and then he'll mention it to me, and I'll rate them what tier I think they are.
Oh, this one, the easiest one. There's nobody in Warrior.
Yeah, Warriors, that's pretty easy. Cherry is Matayu, by the way, for Izuna's asking. That's the same person. Cherry is Matayu, tier 1.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
Anyway,
someone just whispered me that.
yeah, Warriors, let's see. Yeah, active
I
Warriors.
didn't know that.
Asian Cloud Boy, tier 1. Um, like, honestly, like I said in my other post, you're pretty much a rogue. Well, I mean, first of all, you're the fastest warrior, active warrior. And then what also helps is that you come fully stocked in potions and items. So,
Oh yeah, you never know when some shit's going down, so I'm always
no,
ready.
I mean, I think I think that's what people should do. Like, you should always. I mean, there's no rules against it. Play to win, right?
Okay.
Come fully prepared, right? I mean, there's no reason to disadvantage yourself and like not bring those items if you can afford it. Let's see. Greatest warrior of all time, I would say Han.
Ooh, yeah.
Kanik? You say Kanik?
No, Hans. Kanik was overrated as hell.
Oh, I was
I mean-
always on Hans's team, so I never fought against him, so it kind of sucked.
Like, yeah, I mean, a lot of people would joke around that Hans like had targetable Vita attacks because he like never missed. But yeah,
Yeah, that was a good warrior.
he was a good warrior.
LPC was pretty good back in the day, the Peach Chow, right?
Lord Pac-Man?
No, Le Petit Chat.
Oh, Le Petit Chat, yeah.
He was alright. I was top.
Who is that other Shangun who was really good?
Gimpy was decent.
Yeah, it might have been Gimpy. I'm thinking of, yeah.
No, Shinda Musan, whatever.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Yep, he was good.
Oh god,
yeah.
that person. God.
Yeah, he was good.
He would whisper me every day.
Crip, of course. I mean, the original Speed King. Crip and KO Fighter. I feel Crip was better. Well, they were better Crip was better when they both played. KO Fighter, I think, might have passed him on later after Crip retired and KO Fighter kept playing.
Yeah.
Oh wait, okay. I would say Kit is also up there with Hans. Like, most people don't know him because he's super old school, but he was a great poet, great warrior. He also lived like right next to the server as well. So that's another benefit. Back when the servers were in like San Jose or around there.
Oh, 1 second. Fire Element wants to get a Cashel rating.
Cashel, he was a good poet. Played him and Corrosive are pretty similar.
Oh, I was just gonna say, what about Corrosive? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's who comes to mind.
I feel like if they played in the US, both of them could have been tier 2 at least. I know I said poets aren't ping dependent, but if you're playing from Europe, that's like a huge crutch. But they were both good at pre-casting, so I think Cashel's slightly better actually.
Wait, hold on. What about my blood brother, Song the Sea? I thought he was the best poet ever. So.
I love Silent Sea.
He was good. He didn't do enough organized PK. I feel like I don't know about best poet ever, but he was a solid poet. I would also put him tier 2. Going back to Cashel, they're below tier 2, but if they lived in the US, they were both tier 2 at least. Song of the Sea, tier 2 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. As long as you cast fast, cast 3 spells per second, at least tier 2. I feel like what separates people at that level is
awareness.
Yeah, consistency and awareness.
Yeah.
And just prioritizing your 3 spells per second on the right targets. But yeah, I've never really saw Song of the Sea play organized PK and have to like multitask. Usually he was pocket poting you. I don't remember him having to put like multiple fighters at the same time.
No, he just texts me, "Hey, get on, we're fighting." I'm like, "All right, let's go," and we're fighting for like 4 hours. It's so stupid.
Let's see. Other Cashin's pretty good. He's higher than the rest in the tier 2 list. That's also Bond. Well, okay, it's Bond. I don't know. I don't think he really cares if I tell people this.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Other solid warriors right now.
Someone mentioned Zuzu. They asked, did I put Zuzu on the list? I
Zuzu,
actually think Zuzu
yeah.
can land. Like, no joke. He can fucking land, guys.
No. Okay, he's kind of weird because like every now and then he will have like some crazy like really fast land, right?
Yeah, like he back hit me one day and actually died.
Yeah, I don't know. What it is. I feel like half the like 99% of the time he's like playing with his eyes closed or something, and then like that 1% he channels his like inner spirit and opens his eyes and like unleashes his Bankai or some shit, right? And just goes ham.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
and he's not even invited, so if he hits you with the AZSC, you're dead.
Yeah, he's like an anime character, man. Like he just like unleashes his superpowers every now and then. But yeah, and super inconsistent.
I have been killing him, if y'all wanted to know.
Yeah. Let's see. Joe or Shikage is a pretty good warrior. I'm also a pretty decent warrior.
Oh, you're fucking crazy. I can't put you down, but I didn't want to put alts, but I would probably put your warrior as tier 1.
Yeah. I think it covers. Yeah. Sadly there's not a lot of warriors. Like go barbarian if you're playing warrior. Go barbarian. That's automatically gonna bump your tier up by 1.
That's horrible. Then you're gonna let everyone start tanking.
I mean, it's part. Okay, I don't feel too bad for warrior tanks. I mean, they're super gimped, and like it sucks to be tanked, but I mean, warriors they need every help they can get. Unfortunately,
Sounds so horrible.
I mean, if you don't have like deep pockets and can't afford a faded stone, you're gonna have to go barbarian. Just start tanking people.
That's true. All right, rogues. I think this is a fun one.
Rogues.
I hate rogues, so.
Yeah, Zario definitely the top active one right now. Aphorism, I actually agree. Last time I put him as tier 2, but he's a lot better now. He's stepped up a lot. I think he's slightly worse than Zario, but he's pretty good. Right now, he's not doing too well because he's playing from like a hotel or something. He's been playing from like.
Who is that we're discussing right now?
Aphorism.
Okay.
But when he's playing from home, he's a solid rogue. Unfortunately, I feel like rogues took a huge hit. Like back when Shuzu and Jam played, they were like I legitimately feared Shuzu and Jam when I played Poet.
Yeah, same.
More
when I played anybody.
Yeah, I feared them more than mages, like because they had a lot more attacks. Yet all their attacks were like just as clean as a mage does. But nowadays, I feel like I don't have to hold ASV on myself. I can just react instead to dispels and still be okay. Because rogues are pretty slow. Like I don't have to hold that much anymore against rogues. Only against mages now. So rogues took a huge hit. Let's see. Tier 2.
Is anyone on there that's not supposed to be?
Method, I'll move him down a list and move Shakir up to tier 2. I mean,
dang, really? I thought you make fun of him for being so sucky.
Shakir, no, he knows I just like to mess around with him. No, I mean that's also Cherry. He's pretty solid on all classes. He's like Bond Junior. Like he has an East Coast ping, so he's kind of slightly worse, but he's a solid PKer on every path. Let's see. Frenya, I think I overrated too high previous tier list. She's not bad, but I would move Sadiq, Jets, Frenya to like tier 2.5.
Okay.
Like
sure. I agree with your
I'll say Owned or however you pronounce his name is like tier 2.
Oh, I forgot about Owned. Sorry, Owned.
Owned.
Yeah, he's slightly better.
Do y'all rate rogues by scare factor, right? That's how I rate my rogues. Because there's only 2 rogues that I can't dodge, and that's Zario and Aphorism. Like those people, they do back hits like crazy. I guess I do back hits too, but I don't know, I can't tell. They're really scary to dodge.
I mean, I feel like rogues it's about how well they land their attacks.
Exactly, yeah.
And then 2, the speed of it. They have a bit more leeway than it comes to speed. Because I don't know, like mages, their whole point is just to get the instant clean dose, but rogues have a little bit more leeway because they have so many different attacks that
Yeah.
even if you don't land one clean, the next one might. But yeah, let's see. I feel like I don't know. I feel like most mages nowadays they're kind of behind in the speed factor. First of all, it's because Shizu lives right next to the server.
Hmm.
I don't know how Jan did it, but he had like instant reaction as well, even though he plays from pretty far.
I don't know. I don't know how Jan got such like he. I was leveling him when he was a baby rogue, and then I left, and he turned into like some god rogue. I'm like, holy shit, what happened?
Yeah. I know that he had tweaks his settings a lot. I don't know how legit. I know he does the task manager property settings, or yeah, the property change I told you about earlier about real time.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, we
yeah,
got some add-ons. So Magical Pete just came back. So where would you put him on there?
He'll be tier 2 above your current tier 2 list. I would move everyone in your tier 2 list to tier 2.5 at least.
Okay.
And Magical Pete would be tier 2. Yeah. A long ways. I think it was one of along with owned. Him and owned are pretty similar.
Okay, and then we have another request. Chang Laozi, where would you put him on the warrior list?
He's actually not bad. I don't know where he's from, but he's actually pretty decent. Like not super fast, but I'll take tier 2 warrior.
Oh, is my tier 2 right? Lord Froggy, Kilroy, or is that low?
No.
Are they lower than that?
They're lower.
Okay.
I'll keep Cashin tier 1.5. And then yeah, Chang is like tier 2. He's he does the right stuff for the most part.
He just did really well in the Crusades that I was in.
He's decent speed. He always knows to heal his poets and stuff. Pretty decent map awareness. So yeah, I'll take tier 2.
All right. I think that's it for dang our tier list thing. Took up like 20 minutes.
Wait, who's greatest of all time rogue? Did you say that?
Greatest of all time rogue. Oh man.
Agent Red Tiger, my brother.
Agent Red was good. I don't know. Jubai is a name that comes to mind whenever I think rogue.
No.
No. Shut your mouth.
Jubai. Okay, when I usually talk about rogues, I divide it up into IQ and speed. Well, actually, I do that pretty much for all paths. But like Jubai, he plays really smart. Like extremely smart. Actually, he knows which targets to go for. He always go for the weakest targets first to trim the other team, cut their numbers down. But I mean, he plays from Florida as well, and like
who is this?
Jubai.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure he plays from Florida, so he's not as fat. Or maybe I might be wrong on that one actually. But I feel like speed-wise, he's behind Shuzu and Jan.
Yeah.
I feel like the greatest rogue of all time is Quicksilver.
I forgot about Quicksilver.
Really?
Yeah. I know a lot of people are gonna disagree. Like he played super dirty. Like he would tank everyone with chicken feet. But like what most people don't know is that he can also land claims in 2v2s really well. I mean, he played from San Jose right next to the server back when the crew servers were in San Jose. He was smart. So yeah, I mean, I feel
we got a few requests. Where would be Destin? Where would we put Destin?
Tier 1. I would say like Destin was the greatest 2v2 rogue. Yeah, he's definitely the greatest 2v2 rogue that I ever played with. Not so great in organized PK because like his target priority selection wasn't that great. But
yeah,
it was really fast. I mean, I know he played from Canada. I think he played.
Is this Destin D? This is DSTYN.
It's definitely not Tony.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay, just to clarify for everybody, it's DSTYN.
But yeah, no, DSTYN.
Deviance's brother, right?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because like most people from Canada, they have really good connection for some reason. I feel like I don't know what it is about Canadian internet, but he played solid. Destin was solid. Elisa was also from Canada. She was solid. Yeah, but
Yeah, that's it for Rooks.
tier 1. Yeah.
All right. So I know there's a lot of PK. We actually have a lot of people that PK and watching stream because Zario just whispered me. A lot of people just whisper me. But so for people that are not in the top tier right now, so how do you become a top, or how do you get recognized?
First things, you just gotta practice. You just gotta keep playing. A good example of this is Inflamed, like the original Inflamed, not the Fikadu version, but the original Inflamed was bad. Like, he basically Inflamed for like 2 months straight. He just went to every PK event. He hung out in Sire back when it was active. I would say he moved up from like tier 4 to like a solid tier 2.
Dang.
Yeah, he made a lot of improvements. You just gotta keep PKing. Also, like the tricks I told you about, the hardware setting stuff, you can do that. And other than that, I mean, it's also PK IQ. I mean, besides the speed and just like mechanical reflexes and conditioning, you also gotta realize like which targets to go for in organized PK, which is like usually the people out of position that one's easy to go for because they're by themselves. But you also have to realize like you're probably not going to kill the top right away, the top poet on the other team.
Yeah.
So the only time I would do that is if it's like a guaranteed win if you kill their top, and there's like because they have like 50 fighters but one poet. Actually, even then, I would not do that because they're getting like 50 heal outs. But if you feel like the only way you have a chance of winning is killing your poet because your team is outstacked or something, then you can go for it. But usually you gotta figure out who's the easiest target and try to whittle their numbers down and out overwhelm the enemy poet. That's how you usually win. So you can do stuff like that. Also, like I said, just realize your limitations. Like you can't be a hero. Everyone can't be a hero. Like your ping sucks. I mean, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to be that guy who swings at your top poet and hits them out of those. I mean, you're not gonna get a lot of e-girls that way, but your team's gonna win, and your team will be equal. Stuff like that. Also, like, if you're a small poet, you're better off DSSing than trying to heal your 10 million Vita fighter. Meanwhile, if you're a ultra buff poet, you're gonna have to be mainly on healing duty unless you're the only poet on the team. If you're a small mage, stay behind, just hold ASV on your teammates that are further up ahead and actually in the fight. If you're a small rogue, don't block off your teammates, heal out people. I mean, a lot of small rogues, they try to go in for the last kill, cheat, right? If
my pet peeve. Out. Get the fuck out of my way, I'm trying to crack them.
Yeah, you have to realize, like, the odds of you getting a cheat from someone who heals out is very minimal compared to, like, you blocking your teammates who actually know what they're doing. So, unfortunately, you have to move out the way. I mean, yeah, let the top fighters do their thing. Just heal out people, put down sleep traps, hit your teammates out of those. But yeah, that's what I would recommend.
Yeah, one of the most annoying things is a little mage that holds does down on people from the back line.
Right.
So annoying. Or a little poet. I mean, these 98 poets now in Carnage, like people like Martin and Decoy and stuff, like, because they can just hold down HP, they're immune to my 4.5 mil Hellfire. And yet can still do just as much offensively as, you know, a 3 mil poet, because all they have to do is DSSC.
Right. So I know we kind of jumped up forward, but do you want to speak about the current state of organized PK, like just a little bit? We are pushing time, so I mean, we're at 53 minutes.
I'll try to make it quick. So I give Dry Water Law shit because I don't like the dude. I think he's like ill qualified and super unprofessional. But like even from like a non-objective stance, or even from an objective stance, PK hasn't received a lot of updates in the past 18 years. We've got balancers, we've got some Carnage of Champion stuff, but we've also lost a lot. Like we've lost a lot of events because the hosts are understaffed right now. We used to have like, I don't remember exactly how many events a day, but I know some timings got removed.
Yeah, well, I mean, we used to have 2, 4, 6, 8. And I know that and we have like 4 o'clock on Fridays. And we also used to have the Sunday rentals. Saturday had actual events.
Yeah, so it dropped.
We used to have a noon as well, I believe. I think we might have had noon, 2 o'clock, then 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, midnight, 2 a.m.
Yeah, okay, I can on one hand I can really understand that it's not really Dry's fault because those are understaffed, but I feel like I don't know how much he does behind the scene, but it feels like there's not enough effort on his part to like change the system. Like a lot of people want automated. I think hosts, they should be paid more. They should get more incentive. Like they should get Kruna at least, a weekly Kruna, because pretty much, they're pretty much doing a job. It's not really a volunteer thing. They're actually donating a lot of time to keep the game running, to keep the players happy, and that's pretty much working, in my opinion. It's like, I don't know, what do you guys get right now? Like a weekly Carney price?
Yeah, we can get up to a level 95 weapon or
and that's been the same.
Item.
And that's been the same for like 18 years, which
I end up getting a bringer's gift.
Yeah,
but I've been stocking up on hand item, holy rings and surges just in case Osan does come out. But
yeah, so yeah, that's a pretty terrible for how much time they put in.
The other thing too about events dwindling is that since the population's down, like it sucks to host a 2 o'clock Carnage and then have like
one show up, right?
Nine people show up and one of them's assassin warrior, and like that's it.
Yeah,
it's like you can't balance those. You can't do anything with those. So like,
right? I get you on that one. Which is why I feel like automatic queues would help a lot. Like if you reach a certain amount of people that are queued up at the same time, then they're good to go.
Yeah, and that way you can always be like, you grab 5 or 8 of your friends. If the whole PK community is like, okay, we're gonna go in now at 9 or whatever, and then they set up the queue.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say I have all the answers. Dry shit. We need community more and just see what they want in terms of PK, but don't really remember the last time he asked for community advice, except for when I gave him some and he threatened to report to my IRL employers, which, like I said, not very professional.
Yeah, that's kind of if that's true, that's super stupid.
Yeah, it's whatever, but I'm not gonna spend all this time just to chew him out. What I would like to see though is for him to actively work with the community to make PK better.
Yeah. Okay. So on this topic, so which format do you like the most? Riches, Crusades, organized events such as KSG, Masai. What do you think?
I like Crusades because it's balanced. It's probably my favorite, but I do enjoy Carney or Riches every now and then. People enjoy using their stats.
Oh yeah, so that's what was coming next. Feelings on balance and versus unbalanced PK.
I think you need both, man. I know people are gonna say it's skill, but you know what? You gotta let people who hunt for their stats be able to use it. And there's some adrenaline rush just being able to clear the entire team, just nuke them, just tank them.
Oh, I get that feeling every time.
It provides incentive for people to hunt and actively do stuff. If there was just balancers only, then people wouldn't want to hunt. There's not as much point in getting buff.
Well, here's the thing though. I feel like people think that buff people can't PK. I think that's the correlation, right? If you hunt a lot, you just suck at PK. So I feel like maybe Savior might get some heat from that, right? Maybe be like, oh, he probably sucks because he's buff.
Well, in Savior's case,
I suck because I suck.
A good example of that is not true. No, actually, I was about to say, I think it's an old stigma because back in the day, all that
stuff. That's because of Sean's, where it was like, okay, you can one hit anybody on their team, but you're also just. Oh, Sean's was real bad, or at least one of them was.
Sean's, win route, Egyu. There's been of all super buff people just being terrible at PK, but it's changing. Zario is a good example of that. Savior, which is kind of scary because like back in the day, like you can be poor or low stats and still compete because the top players were really bad, or the top stat players were really bad.
Yeah.
And nowadays, the top stat players are all pretty decent PKers. So.
Yeah, and it is like, I go into a Carnage nowadays, and it's like, it depends which poet I have, but if I have a poet on Discord with me, usually it's a really hard fight by the other team to keep up with us, because like me and Bond the other day just like tore through this Carnage that we were in.
Right.
I think that was against like AzNCloudBoi and stuff, right?
Did I lose?
Because I was like, yeah, you lost, because it was like pretty much just, it was like me and Bond first, and I think we had Zuzu on our team, but he died pretty quickly. I think we had a rogue. I don't remember who it was though.
But going back to the topic, I mean, I think there's a need for both.
Having both, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, I think it's a good balance right now the way it is.
Okay,
Crusades
cool. I think we kind of touched up on how to improve at PK. I know you kind of went through each class too, so should we skip that one?
No, well, let me go briefly on that, on class balance. I think mages are overpowered in PK, especially in stat capped ones. People are going to argue that, people are going to argue that mages have to hunt the most to be effective, which is kind of true, but I mean, in stat cap brackets, they're extremely overpowered. Those single-handedly is the best PK spell, I think. Because that doesn't require you to cast someone clean, that just requires you to cast them on Dispel only. And then
it negates two factors there too. Yeah,
they can just wait for SC, or also the fact that they're very good defensively as well with ASV. I mean, their only job, like I said, is to doze, and every time that's down, you can just hold ASV. So they're rarely caught clean. They're too good defensively, and they also have the best offense. That's why I think they're pretty broken. Warriors are super gimped. They need some kind of help. I mean, I don't have the solution. There's a lot of ideas that people brought about, like giving them more mobility or giving them more utility besides just having to just land attacks. I don't know, but Warriors need help. Poets, they're in a solid spot. I mean, Poets might be too overpowered because they control like this SC. They're the only class that can really like this SC people. Rogues, also their triple is too overpowered, and especially imbalanced. It's kind of crazy.
That's the biggest thing that I mean, as a mage, I totally get the whole like doze thing being OP, but at the same time, we can get tanked in almost every bracket by a rogue so easily. And I can't one hit most classes as like a. I mean, I'm thinking Avatar specifically because Avatar's mage is awful.
No, you can't one hit. Well, you can't one hit.
Yeah. Plus rogues that actually rate con up or whatever can like, especially in like ancients, a rogue hits con 3 and they can like 3 swing a mage or a poet or anybody, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, swinging in ancients is broken, but I feel like a top tier mage every 60 seconds, that's 2 guaranteed kills with the both doubles, Hellfire and Inferno, and then Hellfire and Sam. That's like, if you're a top mage, that's going to be pretty much 2 guaranteed kills on the top. Or at least they might heal out, but it's still going to be 2 clean kills.
Well, you say mage is the best, but what's difficulty play style with those two? Like, let's do rogue and mage since where it don't matter.
Mage, you're ping. That's pretty much it. Like if you don't have
I guess hard factor, like how hard it is to play a top tier mage versus how hard it is to play a top tier rogue.
It's very easy playing a mage. You doze when you see the spell after you call your target. Other than that, you're just holding ASG. I mean, I guess there's some. I guess there's some more factors. Don't be a Zippo and don't be a clown and just run in to the middle by yourself like YOLO style.
Sounds like turnip.
I mean, positioning matters, but
now mage dozing, do you like when you're dozing, like it leaves you vulnerable if you're holding your doze open on somebody waiting for the dispel while it holds you open for the ASV, and then you got to go all the way back and like scroll back. Is that just like how it is, or do you have tips for?
I use my mouse to doze. I use click.
What if you misclick?
Then you're boned, and you just have to wait for your next doze.
God.
I mean, some people. I know some people hover doze on target, waiting for it to dispel, but
Yeah.
that's a lot of trust in your poet that they're gonna dispel immediately.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I don't like that because it leaves you vulnerable for way too long.
Then when you walk, do you walk with mouse or do you walk with arrows?
I walk with arrows. I usually walk with arrows. Then
Oh, yeah, this brings up the question, yeah. So if you want to be good at PK, you have to be able to do both keyboard and mouse, right?
Definitely as a mage, I would definitely recommend mouse. Actually, no. Theoretically, yeah, you need to be able to use both because it's way too hard to scroll through your entire team and ASV someone unless you have them tabbed.
Do you play fighter with keyboard or mouse or both, or
keyboard only.
Okay, good. You're just like me. I'm only keyboard. I can't use my mouse.
Yeah. But mage, you definitely need to be able to use mouse. Poet, you should use mouse if you want to group ASV like Bunny Fufu.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Oh,
2v2.
okay.
You can only go 2v2s and 3v3s. You can do keyboard only.
Okay. Oh yeah, so not less scroll.
Yeah.
All right. We kind of hit everything else after that. We hit a little bit on how to improve PK, and you kind of, while you were talking about current state, you talked about how to improve PK. So I guess we're done with that. I want to add something in. I think if they add token into Bloodlust, I think that would be pretty good too, right?
Yeah. I actually had a dreams post about this before, but I feel like tokens they should add like armor that's like PK oriented.
Yeah, like coat maybe.
Yeah, I think it should be like the same like armor. Like I think it should be the same AC stuff. Difference is that it has one durability only, so that you can't ever use it for hunting or anything.
Right.
What is it? What should be only one durability?
This like a token armor, like from
For Bloodlust.
I think PK events should give like tokens, like fox hunts and elixirs, and one of the top rewards should be like an armor, like on armor and stuff. But it's like PK only armor because it's one durability.
Yeah.
I think you should also be able to buy consumables, like not as good as like red potions, but maybe like 50% health restore with tokens. But yeah, they do need a token system and actually provide more of an incentive for people to attend Bloodlust.
Exactly. I agree there. I think if they just add something in, then they'll be fine. Okay, here's another one. I read in Dreams, I think someone wanted to do like a board display of how many kills you get. What do you think about that? I thought it was, I mean, it's interesting, but I don't think it'll work out. Because it's not really about kills.
Posted down.
I mean, more information. You can never go wrong with more information. I would love to see like, kills, not just kills, but like healing done, ASVs cast. But I mean, I don't think it's gonna done, but it's cool. I mean, more, like I said, more information, more bragging rights, more stuff to compete about.
Yeah, I think PK is all about bragging rights. I think, right?
Yeah.
All right, we've actually been going for an hour and 10 minutes. Let's take like the next 2 minutes to take questions from the audience, I guess. Any of you guys have any questions? Go ahead and type on Twitch or whisper one of us on stream, I guess. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of people. Okay, while they're talking about questions and stuff, we actually hit an all-time high of 19 viewers. That sounds so stupid. 19 viewers on Twitch.
And they were all Hocari's banned accounts. Wow.
Nice. Front page Twitch. Here we come.
Wow, we're featured talking about tier list.
Yeah.
People probably join in there. What the fuck is this game?
People love PK. I mean.
Oh, here I'm getting a few people whispering me a question.
Sure.
Why isn't theSavior tier S mage? Could someone explain? I think he's pretty good.
Like I said, he plays from Florida. Yeah.
This is true.
Gets caught. doesn't he hold stones on the target, waits for the dispel?
Oh, that's true.
Oh, he pre-doses?
Yeah.
I pre-dose. I blow my doze.
I have a good question.
Mhm.
What I know you mentioned tanking is okay, but when is tanking too much? Because I know you probably made a lot of warriors watching this want to go barbarian now. So
Tanking is too much always.
So when
I
is
feel like
tanking too much?
if you're a top player and you can get kills without tanking, then I think it's pretty scummy to just tank people.
Like straight up, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
Phil.
I mean, I guess that would be my. I guess 'cause you're more than capable of catching people clean, uh, especially when you're like non-doze, especially when you use baited stones and you're invisible. Then, uh, you're pretty much a rogue and can catch people clean. But when you start tanking, even though you don't need to, then it becomes kind of scummy. Like I don't feel as bad when Method tanks people because like he has a hard time catching people clean.
Dang.
I don't feel. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, I don't feel bad when like Maki does it because he plays from Europe and
Yeah.
agree there. Or when like a top Indo mage tanks. I mean, it's whatever. But the only issue is when people don't need to, they still do it.
Oh, here's a good question. Why do you kill so many weak players versus aiming for tops and Carnage early? I know the answer to that, but you can tell people.
Because, well, first of all, like Doze is very essy. Even a small mage can make a huge impact with Doze, and they're also easier to kill, right? Mages, weak mages especially, they don't have hardened body, they can't really escape that too well. So, kill the weak mages first, gets rid of Doze, which is broken. Also, like I said, poets are capped at 3 spells per second. If you get rid of all the weaker players on the enemy team, they're gonna be so overwhelmed with just SCs that.
Yeah, I think it's the overwhelming factor. I mean, even though you're 2 buff people, there's like 50 people on you. It's over.
Like, yeah, if like you're getting spammed by 5 different fighters, you just can't keep up, no matter how good you are.
All right, I think that's it for questions. No one really. I mean, streamer. There's a lot of. I think Shuzu came in here really quickly, but yeah, I think that's it. No one's asked any questions on stream, so.
Shout out to Shizu, best rogue ever. Ignore everything else
No, yeah, someone got really upset. Nexus is gay, but if Shuzu isn't your #1 rogue of all time, you might as well stop hosting the Tonight Show.
That's clearly not Shizu.
Oh, that's not.
Yes.
Well, who knows?
No, that being said, I did give him a lot of shit in the past, but no, he's I would say the highest IQ. No, he's up there with highest IQ as Jubai. He's also a very high IQ PK rogue. It's kind of strange because he lives right next to us as well, not in Oregon, but he's more of a intelligent player than super fast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just want to go around and thank everyone for joining us, and thank you, Hocari. I know you're banned, but we will miss you in these next few months.
Are you on registering for the next few months? Why don't you use the next few months to hunt, buddy?
Sounds fun, but I'm good.
Oh, fine. I'm just gonna say this on stream.
I'm giving you a head start, Savior, on stats.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I definitely need it.
No problem.
I just want to tell everyone on stream that Osan should be coming out soon, so just hang in there, guys.
Yes, coming out soon.
It's coming out, I promise.
That'll be out after Hocari comes back.
Yes. Right.
Yes, he has to die for 3 months so that he can bring us Osan on his resurrection.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm still a host and you get back, Hocari, I'll do a day-long Carnage to Carnage extravaganza.
Thank you. I feel honored.
Yep. We'll have a day of PK on your return, as long as you don't have any thunderstorms. As long as the weather's clear.
Okay, first of all, let's make this clear, okay? A lot of people say my hurricanes aren't real, or people say that I like to touch little boys, or that other stuff. I can assure you, none of these are true. That's all.
Oh man.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad the rumor's out.
Yeah. Hocari PP small.
Yep.
Pass it on.
Indeed. All right. Well, thanks for having me, guys. I got to take off.
Yeah,
But,
it's getting late. Alright,
Later,
alright,
man.
see ya.
Good talks. That was great.
Yep. Peace out.
Peace.
Thanks, Curry. Oh wow, immediately out. Not a lingerer. Not a lingerer.